Welcome to the Self-Care for the Creative podcast, the podcast for artists and songwriters and music creators who want sustainable success, not burnout disguised as hustle. I'm your host, Stefani Fryzel. I'm an author, an artist, a songwriter, and a creative coach, and I'm the founder of Stefani Fryzel Coaching. We help artists and songwriters build sustainable careers in music and give them the opportunity to get in the room with hit songwriters and uplevel their craft. In this season, you will hear from hit songwriters on how they protect their creative energy, their mental health, behind the scenes on the music industry lessons that you won't find on Instagram, strategies for navigating rejection, burnout, overwhelm, conversations about money, mindset, boundaries, success, failures, and finding longevity in the industry. This podcast is for creatives who are serious about their craft as a songwriter and an artist, committed to growth, and are ready to stop sacrificing their well-being in the process. If you want to write better songs, build a stronger career, and still feel grounded, inspired, and motivated, this podcast is for you. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Self-Care for the Creative. I'm your host, Steph Fryzel, and today I'm going to be talking about why it's so important for you to get out of your usual environment. Okay, what does that mean? What does it mean, getting out of your usual environment? Well, I want to talk about just why it's so important is because something happens a lot with songwriters and artists is that they find themselves plateauing in their environment because they're not being pushed or challenged or shown real ways of how to grow their craft, how to expand, and honestly, just getting out of your comfort zone. There is so much that is keeping you stuck simply because you are hanging around the same people, talking about the same things, having the same conversations with the same people, and staying in a little bubble or staying with your regular crew. And the real breakthroughs truly can happen in the rooms that you put yourself in. Why do I know this? It's because I myself have invested thousands and thousands of dollars to put myself in the room with people that want the same things that I do, and not just want the things that I do, but that are playing at a bigger level, that are doing the thing that I want to do. Just last year, I think I spent like $5,000 to travel to Palm Beach for an event. Top of this year, I paid probably about $3,000 total to go to a money event with all female entrepreneurs. And something really resonated with me was just earning more money as a female entrepreneur in a relaxed way. Something I noticed about myself last year was I didn't know this, but I was actually addicted to the stress. And now that I've had a baby, I've become a mom this past year, and I launched a whole new event last year. So the stress level last year was actually really, really high for me, just based on like circumstances, but also it revealed something to me. Motherhood and launching this event revealed my actual addiction to stress. So I found this event that was speaking to how to calm your nervous system and how to actually train your mind, your soul, your body, your nervous system on how to actually not just make more money, but be able to hold it and manage it and multiply it. And so again, like I invested money to go to be in the room with people that are, running businesses, that are female entrepreneurs, that are making millions of dollars, that know more than I do, right? And so if I just stayed at home, watching YouTube tutorials or scrolling on Instagram, there's only so much that you can learn online. Of course, there's tons of free tools out there. And I'm not saying that that's not worth something. Absolutely. Learn what you can on your own. Do everything you can on your own. Equip yourself with as much knowledge and tools and skills as you possibly can on your own. Do what you got to do. However, there comes a time and place where what's actually required is to get out of your comfort zone, getting out of your comfort zone, putting yourself in a new environment, putting yourself in the room with people that are playing at the level that you want to play. And I just spoke to somebody about this recently, about sometimes those rooms they cost money. But you know what happens is the results from those rooms, insane. It doesn't just give you connections and new relationships and all of that, but it changes you. Like at your core, it changes you. It moves you and shifts you from an identity level. When I think about it, when I really close my eyes and I think about it and I think about who I was 3 years ago, completely different person. People in my world know that. The people in my world are like, you seem different. Like, what do you got going on? It's because I've been making moves that actually scare me consistently. Like, I consistently pay attention to the feeling where I'm just like, oh, there's that pull. Oh, that looks really cool. I want to do it. And if there's like a little bit of friction, a little bit of fear, a little bit of like, oh, there's my edge, I actually have come to learn to pay attention to that feeling and to know and trust that that's the move to make in order to receive a quantum leap. So why am I talking about this? Why is this so important? It's because a lot of songwriters, a lot of artists are sitting in their comfort zone and they're not seeing the results that they want to see because they're not pushing themselves outside of that comfort zone. They're not putting themselves in an environment where they can actually step into a new identity and embody the type of songwriter or artist that they want to become. That is everything that we do with coaching. That is everything that we do when we're doing events together. And specifically at Hitmakers, we're together for 3 whole days. We're together in person in the room, and we bring hit songwriters that have crazy cuts, have certified platinum, diamond certified records, Billboard, whatever, #1 hit songs, and have won Grammys and all the things. We intentionally curate and bring in the top songwriters in the game so that you can be in the room with them, not just be in the room with them, but write songs with them. There's actually no other place on the planet that you can do this. There's no other place. So if you're a songwriter, if you're an artist and you're ready to get out of your comfort zone, you feel like, you know what, my circle is just not it. I am not growing. I'm not scaring myself. And I know there's more in me. I know that I have the potential for more. I know my music can reach millions. I know I have the power in me to build a fan base or to make money with your songs. If that is sitting inside of you, that means you have untapped potential. And that means your environment is simply not serving you. This is exactly why we built the room, Hitmakers. We built it for people that need a new environment, that need that challenge, that need that space to push them out of their comfort zone and see insane results. So tell me if this is resonating with you. Tell me if this is really speaking to you. I know that this has been true for me in the past, as my own personal journey in music for the last 20 years. I've been in music as a songwriter and an artist for 20 years. And I've definitely gone through phases of like, okay, I'm in with this circle of people. And then after a while, usually it was like a breakup, right? It was like I was dating somebody and that was like my circle of friends, and then went through a breakup and then had to change circles of friends. And then all throughout the years, like eventually, my circles, they grow and they change and they evolve and they move and you work your way up and now you're making more connections, right? So everything can be really fluid. Like if you really want this as a career, don't expect to stay in the same place. Don't expect your environment not to change. If you really want this as a career, expect to make insane connections. Expect to meet amazing collaborators. Expect to write your greatest songs. And one of the rooms that can actually make that happen for you is Hitmakers. I like to talk about this in a way that is somewhat metaphorical too. Sometimes in the pandemic, I started learning how to garden. Like many of us, we had nothing to do in the pandemic and we picked up all kinds of hobbies. And when I started learning how to garden, I would go to the store, I'd pick out all these plants, and a lot of them I'd never actually seen grow into, I had never seen the beginning of a jalapeno or the beginning of a tomato. And then by the end of it, I saw it fully grow. And I was like, wow, this is the most incredible thing to watch something fully grow into what it is meant to become. But the key is each of these plants has care instructions, right? It has care instructions. It needs the right environment. It needs the right amount of sun. It needs the right amount of water. There's specific conditions and specific care instructions for you as a creative, as an empath, as a songwriter, as whatever it is you do. There are specific conditions that enable you to grow fully. And plants and nature is a perfect example of that. If you are in the wrong environment, you will never grow to your full potential. You will never see the fruits of your labor. You will never truly be fully expressed as yourself, as a creative, as a songwriter, as an artist. So if you're sitting there thinking, you know what, I am not in the right environment, please consider some of the events that we have going on. If you're sitting there and you know that the environment is not for you, just know that our events are online. They're in person as well. We work with people that are at the beginning phases of this. We work with people that are further along at this. And our ultimate goal is to help you make a sustainable career in music, to build your music catalog, build your career, build income for yourself, build connections and relationships that are going to last, and do it in a way that's exciting and thrilling for you, and not with the burnout and the exhaustion and the of it all. You know, I recently did a keynote about this exact topic, about how everyone is so effing overwhelmed with managing so many things. And it's because we're doing too much. We're doing too much. And I talked to everyone that was at the keynote about working smarter, not harder. And this isn't just a cliche thing that you can hear all the time. One of the things that is working smarter, not harder, is putting yourself in the room, getting out of that environment, putting yourself in a new environment. Nothing's going to move things faster for you. Nothing will shift faster for you than actually putting yourself in the goddamn room. So if you're feeling called, this is calling you, and I feel like I'm speaking directly to you, please get in touch. This is who we are. This is what we do. We support artists and songwriters, and we pay songwriters. So that's not something I actually talk about enough, and I probably should. Is part of the reason why we started this whole company in the first place was to pay songwriters. I'm a songwriter myself, and many of my colleagues and lots of our mentors and hit songwriting mentors that come to our events, I had just gotten really sad and sick and tired of people suffering financially and complaining about the state of the music industry. And it's a complicated problem to fix. And so I just was like, fuck this. Like, I'm going to start to create cool experiences that actually pay songwriters. And so that's what we stand for at our company, is that we take care of the writers. We pay them, we feed them, depending on the event, and we make sure that they're valued. And in that process, we are holding true to our values of true artist development. People that come to our events just know that when there is an energetic exchange financially, you actually are contributing to a positive change for songwriters because we pay them. All right? That's the mission of everything that we're doing. Please get in touch. We're excited to hear from songwriters. We're excited to hear from artists that are working on projects that maybe don't have a plan or are struggling to figure out what songs to finish or what to do with the songs. We're your person. We're the person that you want to get in touch with if you are struggling in music and don't really know where to start, don't really know how to leverage your craft so that you can actually open doors and earn some money for yourself. That's what we do. That's what we're up to. So I hope this was helpful. And just a reminder, if you take nothing else from this episode, just pay attention to when you get that pull to do something a little scary. Pay attention to it. And what would it take for you to just say yes to that internal nudge, to do a little bit of the scary thing, to take a leap, to get outside of your environment, to put yourself in a new room? The bigger question is, what happens if you don't? I hope you loved this episode. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I hope this episode supported you. If this resonated with you, share it with a friend, leave us a review. It is the best way to ensure that other artists and songwriters get the support that they need. If you are ready to go deeper, join us at the Hitmakers Songwriting Retreat this October 2026 in Los Angeles. This is our 3-day immersive experience where serious songwriters get in the room, write with hit songwriters, and elevate their careers. You can find all the details in the show notes, along with my book, Self-Care for the Creative. Until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, your greatest masterpiece will always be you.